You know, the saying here in Music City is it all begins with a song. Well, for Alan Jackson, it all began, at least in terms of a national music career, with this. Now, for the youngsters in the crowd, if you would need an explanation of what this is, I'll be available afterwards to tell you. This is, though, a 45 RPM single on blue vinyl of Blue-Blooded Woman. This was the very first single released in late 1989 and the very first single on a new startup label called Arista Nashville. Its flagship artist was Alan Jackson. This single, Blue-Blooded Woman, peaked at number 45 on the charts. Undaunted, label president Tim Dubois and the head of promotion Alan Butler released another single called Here in the Real World. That song began a string of 12 consecutive number ones that cemented Alan as one of the more prolific careers in country music history in a very, very short time. Alan's had more than 60 singles, as Bill mentioned. He's posted 35 number ones, 13 more top fives, but I think most impressive is that 24 of his number ones were songs that he wrote. To kind of put that in perspective for you, only Merle Haggard has taken more songs that he's written to number one in country music history. Perhaps even more impressively, in pop and country music, only Merle, Paul McCartney, and John Lennon have joined Alan Jackson, recording more than 20 songs they've written and taking them to number one on the charts. You know, I've been playing country songs on the radio now, hard to believe, for more than 40 years now, and I think what strikes me most about Alan's songs is just their accessibility and incredible relatability. He just has a way of putting into words what the people of America are thinking and feeling about life and love and living. You know, you don't have to grow up next to a muddy river to understand down by a river on a Friday night, pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight, talking about cars and dreaming about women, never had a plan, just living for the minute. And I think we all knew. Yeah, well, I'll wait. We all knew just what he was singing about when he sang about the boots, the roots, and the suits of those who had gone country. I guess some things never change. And so many of us recall such wonderful memories when we heard a young boy, two hands on the wheel. I can't replace the way it made me feel when Daddy let me drive. You know, Alan was just 30 when Blue-Blooded Woman was released, making the lyrics and Remember When even more poignant, I think. Remember when 30 seemed so old? Now looking back, it was a stepping stone to where we are, where we've been, and we do it all again. Remember when. This is an anniversary of sorts. You know, it was almost exactly 10 years ago today. It was actually November 5th in 2001 that Alan gave a few of us a moment that we're never, ever going to forget, and it really gives me chills as I think about it. But Alan came in to do the rehearsal for the CMA award show, and he was supposed to run through a song that he was going to sing on the show called It's All Right to Be a Redneck. Instead, he sang a song that he'd written just a few weeks earlier about the horrific events of 9/11. To say the room stopped is an understatement. Nobody talked, nobody moved, everybody had a tear in their eye when we heard for the first time, "Where were you when the world stopped turning?" I always thought Brad Paisley said it best when he told me on the countdown one time that hundreds of songwriters put down their pens when they heard that song, knowing the emotions that they could never be put into words any better than what had been written by Alan Jackson. You know, growing up on the south side of Chicago, my younger days were shaped by the songs of Smokey Robinson, Holland, Dozier Holland, and of course McCartney and Lennon. But it's been the songwriters of Music City who've written the soundtrack to my adult life. And high atop that list is a man who was certainly destined to be here. I mean, how else can you do anything else when your mother's maiden name is music? He's our next inductee into the Music City Walk of Fame. Please welcome Alan Jackson.
Oh, thank you all so much. Thank you, Lon. You made me sound a lot better than I really am. I appreciate that. That was sweet. I tell you, like they go on with all the awards and all that stuff. I have one about everything that I never even thought you could win, and I've even had some people name a dog after me one time, but you know, but still, after all I've been through and accomplished and all the great luck I've had, when I think about 20-something years ago, the first time I was driving down Music Row up there with a paper sack full of songs, you know, I never could ever imagine standing here in front of the Country Music Hall of Fame and in the heart of Nashville, in the heart of country music, you know, and having them put my name down on this concrete. It'll be here for a long time. It's just something that you never thought about and never dreamed about, really. I never even dreamed it could happen, and you know, I could thank a million people out there, but the fans are the ones to me that put that name there. You know. But, I still try to write my music for you, and y'all the ones that put it there. And a lot of you come to Nashville, and tourists and fans, and I hope y'all can come by and enjoy all these stars and see what you've helped accomplish through music. And I appreciate it. And but I just have to say, I don't know that I feel quite right getting this star when I looked at that list of who's already on here. And, man, you know, people like Lon was just saying, I mean, Merle Haggard, George Jones, and Charlie Pride, and a lot of people aren't on here that made me move to Nashville, you know, so y'all better get their names on here. But thank you so much. This is quite an honor.